I want to show you this Target exclusive Ultimate Edition of Macho Man straight out of his WCW look joining the NWO. I had like the ringside exclusive NWO Macho Man with the same kind of Madness t-shirt, so I thought I would skip this Ultimate, but we'll take a look at the attire and see why I actually wanted to get the Ultimate figure instead. And then we'll compare it to that figure and everything else. See what all we got here. We got a picture of the figure with like a nitro background. And we got his picture and a little information here and there on the back. This will be a fairly early look from joining the NWO. Just get it opened up here. You know, I wouldn't be able to resist doing a Macho Man impression. So actually a bonus t-shirt. He's got his kind of caged Madness shirt. I do always remember seeing this one. Macho Man kind of had his own look. Instead of just wearing the NWO shirt, had his own shirts. Merchandise chicks. So right off the bat, we got the cloth Madness shirt, and on the back as well, there's not a Velcro thing. It's just kind of the shirt you have to pull down on top of him. Since it's a newer figure, we have facial printing. It's going to make him look even more like Randy Savage. Little simplistic shape on the shredded ends, but you know, the idea is still there. Of course, since it's Ultimate underneath, we have the extra butterfly joints, and the elbow joint going to come in handy for those elbows. But just accessory holding hands and then kind of open hands. The hand options. So the important note will be just like kind of the black tights with some white tassels and then some black tassels on the back of the boots. Just comparing that to the ringside exclusive one from quite a while ago. Kind of star design tights and then different tassels down here. So I looked it up. Since I based so much of my figure collection on the old Nintendo 64 games, like WCW Revenge, this figure's attire is actually the one that's in that game for this black and white attire. When that game came out, we had like the red Wolfpack NWO, so Macho Man's default attire is that one. But I always switched it to this black and white one and used that for his main appearance. So to match that video game roster and appearance, this is the figure to get right here. So it has the smiling kind of face. We've got a little bit more serious, angry face we can switch to. And a crazy tongue out one that's probably going to look really awesome with his shades and bandana on. Very expressive that way. But you almost don't recognize Macho Man without his bandana and stuff on, because he tried to wrestle a match with his shades on as long as he could. Just that much more recognizable with his crazy Macho Man shades and the bandana on his head. And they're about the same, maybe a little bit softer, a little more white on the Ultimate Edition one. We got white all the way here, and the older one just kind of has the design on the front. But probably more accurate on these shoulder bits, but this is a plastic shirt versus the cloth. That's kind of going to be your preference, and then time period with the tights. No fist hands, which is kind of surprising. It just has the accessory hands. It'll pretty much work for that anyway. Then the weight belt to kind of complete the look. But it's a little small. Not an easy one to stretch onto here. But just that added detail there. With the weight belt and the Madness tassels on the back too. I feel like the Madness shirt is probably a little more iconic, but since these are Ultimate figures, it's easier to get the head and arms off. We can switch those shirts. Still pretty famous with the caged Madness shirt. And since it was in the packaging a bit, there's the faintest of stains on the arm, but you're probably mostly going to have the shirt on. It's going to cover that anyway. You definitely display him with no shirt, but with two really nice cloth shirt options. And it'd be a lost opportunity, and you mostly wrestled with them on anyway. So we do always have that slight issue to look out for. I always think the cloth shirts are usually worth getting. So a lot of options here between the shirts and the heads. Very different expressions here. And a main kind of guy here for a WCW collection. So the extra articulation inside the Ultimate Edition is going to help too. It doesn't have that drop down leg, but all the extra in the arm and torso. The old toes. Get ready for the toe kick in the gut. Very worth getting. Probably going to be my main WCW Macho Man now. Might as well upgrade to the Ultimate version. Plus having that WCW Revenge specific attire really helps too. So if you like to see kind of later 90s Monday Night War WWE Mattel figures, that's always what I'm showing here, my kind of growing collection of both WWF and WCW. Mostly based on the video games of the time too, because I would have spent so much more time playing the games than even getting to watch the shows. So they're almost like video game characters in my mind, you know? But it was always cool getting to see them on TV then too. So go ahead and snap into the subscribe button. That way you won't miss future additions to the collection. Plenty of past ones you want to check out too. Close looks at some of the best figures for this time period. Hopefully I'll get to see you in those videos.